What's up, geniuses? E here. Day 2 of the Gwent Open was today, and we got some juicy leaks and some juicy previews of what is coming in our next balance patch. So it sounds like it's going to be a really big one. Some of the things that are changing are some of the leader abilities. So none of the leader abilities are being reworked too hard, nothing like Lockdown was last time. But some flexibility, a point here and there, are being given to some underplayed leader abilities. So let's take a look at them, see what we think. First leader to see a change is Imperial Formation. So Imperial Formation says, order, boost an allied unit by 2, charge 3. Once all charges are used up, move a soldier from your deck to the top. Whenever you play a soldier, give it 1 armor for each adjacent. That's the new part. Whenever you play a soldier, give it 1 armor for each adjacent soldier. That should say after that. I don't know how I feel about it. They're really trying to boost soldiers. So you'll see once you see the card reworks, or the card buffs and nerfs, we'll say, they're really trying to make soldiers playable, which is great. People love soldiers. I like playing soldiers. I like slave infantry, as you guys know, which is a soldier deck. So yeah, I'll be excited to give it a try. I just don't know how good the armors are going to be, you know? It's going to be really good against decks that do a lot of random damage, stuff like SK, things like that, but I don't know. Armor's only so useful. Armor's not points, you know? Yeah. Armor ain't points. And Nilfgaard doesn't have any great ways to really take advantage of armor either, so we'll see. Some people are really excited for it. Personally, I think it's a bit underwhelming, but we'll see what happens. Now, this next leader ability, Invigorate, this is huge. This is huge in my opinion. So it doesn't make this leader broken or anything like that, but it used to say, order, boost all units in your hand by 1. Now, that had some serious drawbacks. First of all, you wanted to use it when you had the most possible units in your hand, which meant you pretty much always wanted to use your leader round 1. Don't really want to be using your leader round 1 in general. You want to be holding those points and getting that carryover. Now it says boost 5 units in your hand by 1, charge 2. So you have the option to use one of this round 1, one of it later on. You perhaps even have the option to hold it and use it in round 2 and in round 3 if you're able to get the desired round lengths, or maybe even use them both in a round 3 where you only have 5 units in your hand. The other big drawback to how it was before is you were really incentivized to play a deck that had a ton of units. If you drew your first 10 cards and 5 of them were specials, you're only getting 5 points off your leader. But with this new Invigorate, you are able to only boost 5. You can play a lot more specials and stuff in your deck. It's going to be a lot more flexible. I think we're going to see Invigorate played. I think this is going to be a real leader. I know I'm going to give it a go. Next, we have Inspired Zeal. So this is just a straight 3-point buff. Boost a Northern Realms unit by 2 and give it Zeal. It used to boost it by 1. Charge 3. So Blue Stripes is a real deck. I mean, Blue Stripes is a good deck right now. It's kind of getting slept on a little bit, but man, I played a session with Blue Stripes the other day. I went like 10-1. It's strong. It's really strong. So, and this is just a straight 3-point buff to the deck. It's actually more than that, because oftentimes you're going to be using one of these order abilities on Seltkirk. And Seltkirk is dueling, obviously, so that 1 point of boost is going to play for an additional point of damage. So it's kind of just like a straight 4-point buff to the Blue Stripe Commando deck. I like it. I think Blue Stripes are going to see some play for sure. They already should be seeing some play, and this should make people stop sleeping on them, hopefully. Lockdown. So Lockdown really got neutered a couple patches ago. So they're just slowly trying to bring the new and underwhelming Lockdown back to somewhere around playable. They're bringing it from having 13 provisions to 14. I still don't think this is any good. Honestly, I think they could give this leader 18 provisions and it still wouldn't see much play. It's just there's so many decks that can play around it. So it says disable, the new lockdown is disable your opponent's leader ability for the duration of this round. If your opponent's leader has no charges left or is on cooldown, spawn 2 operatives on your melee row instead. So a deck like AQ, for example, can just use all charges but 1, and then you got nothing. You can disable their 1 charge, and you can't even get operatives. I don't know. Yeah, it's just too easy to play around. You got like elves too. Elves can just get two of their Deadeyes out in round 2 or during their bleed somewhere, and then leave 1 in there. So your leader is going to play for 3 points, even though you have fewer provisions. Yeah, lockdown's not in a good spot, but they're bringing it back slowly. We'll see what happens. Morven Voorhees. So this is a buff to the Tactical Decision leader in Nilfgaard. The Tactical Decision leader just spawns Morven Voorhees, and then Morven's effect is draw up to 3 cards and then put the same number of cards back on the top of your deck. So just something for consistency. Cloggers likes to play this leader, so they can make sure they get through their deck to all their clogging early on to make sure that you have a bad day as their opponent and want to quit the game. But yeah, this leader is getting a buff. Morven is going from 6 power to 7, so it's a 1-point buff. You know, why not? The leader wasn't seeing too much play, especially now that Colgrim got taken care of. So yeah, maybe Morven will see some play. I don't really think so. I don't think this changes much. Next is Pirate Cove. Pirate's Cove used to say, spawn Sea Jackal on an allied row and gain 4 coins. Now, it no longer gains the 4 coins, but it gives you 2 Sea Jackals. You have 2 charges. This is huge. This is a really big buff. So I've always actually been a fan of Pirate's Cove. I think it's really a big deal that it gives you a spender. You can really just stack your hand full of profit and then last say spend it away. But one of the issues you had is typically when you want a spender, it's because you have coins already and you can't spend them. And so I would find myself over profiting a lot with Pirate's Cove because I would want to get my Sea Jackal down as late as possible, but then I would have too many coins by then and I wouldn't get to take full advantage of the 4 coins. So this just doubling up on the spenders, no coins, worth the same amount of points. This is big time. I think Pirate's Cove is going to see some real play. I'm definitely going to experiment with it. I love it. I love this change. This may be my favorite leader change. Pincer Maneuver. Order. Draw a Northern Realms unit of your choice, then shuffle a card from your hand back into the deck and spawn a volunteer in your melee row, charge 2. So what this leader used to do is it would let you draw a Northern Realms unit of your choice and shuffle one back, and then it would boost that unit by 5, and that was it. And you could only get 1 unit of your choice from your deck. Now they have made it so you spawn a volunteer. Each time you do it, a volunteer is worth 2 points. So they're taking 1 point away in that sense. You don't get the 5 boost anymore. You're going to get a volunteer twice for 4 points, but they give you a whole extra search. So the consistency that this offers is pretty crazy. It lets you do a little combo that I've been flirting with lately, which is Erland of Larvik into Decoy into Erland of Larvik again to boost all the units in your deck by 2. I mean, looks pretty good with Pincer Maneuver now. You can guarantee your Erland in your hand round 1 both times. Erland, Decoy, or Pincer Maneuver, Erland again. Love it. I don't know. I think this could see some play. I think it's a good change because this really wasn't seeing any play. Pretty much the only deck that was playing Pincer Maneuver was just some sort of meme-ish deck with Archgriffin. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe the consistency is just going to be worth it. We'll see. Reckless Flurry. Order. Split 3 damage randomly between all enemy units, ignoring their armor. Charges 3. So, this used to just say split 8 damage randomly between all enemy units, ignoring their armor. there was no charges, so it was just a one-time 8. Now it is 3 charges and 3 each, and you can do them all in the same turn, so you can actually get 9 where you used to get 8 if you did them all at once. So this is just a strict buff. 1 extra point, more flexibility. You can do this in different spots now. You can use it to like get ahead in a round. Say you are behind by 1 point or something, and you really need to get ahead. You can just use one of these leader charges, and it doesn't completely kill your game plan late game if you're trying to do something with like dagger or something like that. It's a pretty big buff. I like it. I'm gonna play around with it. I think there's gonna be lots of synergies with this card. I think it's gonna be one of SK's best leaders now. I really do. So that's it. Those are all the changes for the leader abilities that were revealed for this next coming patch, patch 8.5. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please consider leaving me a like and maybe subscribing. I would love that very much. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.